Hey, everybody, this is Mark,
And this is Ashley.
and this is Awkward Fist Bump Productions. Boom!
I got to reach.
I
I'm in my
know you're
jam
kind of
jams today.
you're kind of set back, just chilled today.
I had a revelation of like, these people saw me in jail. So why, after working a 12-hour shift, do I need to do my hair and makeup? They know me better than anybody. So jam jams for the win.
I didn't realize you worked today.
Yes, I've
Oh, I
been
thought you were off Wednesdays. Oh, you do some crazy yeah.
2 on, 2 off, 3 on, 2 off, 2 on, 3 off, and then it
Yeah.
flips again.
Well,
This
we
is
have
the
a new
shirt I was arrested in, actually. I just realized.
60 days in swag right there in front of
Yes.
you. Yeah, we have a new sheriff coming on, so I don't know what our new schedule, if it's going to stay the same or because we've heard we're going to do like rotating shifts. So like
Yes.
we'll do like 3 or 4 months from 3 to 11, 3 or 4 months from 11 to 7, at night.
Hmm.
And then so out of, but everything's rumor. We'll find out for sure in the next couple of weeks when he takes office.
Yeah, that's what we do. I switch back to nights on January 1st. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh well, fun, fun. If you're
You ready for
working in
the
law enforcement.
big, speaking of law enforcement, are you ready for our big discussion? The one that everybody's been wanting to know about.
Okay, so this is the time of year when you
Yes.
60 days in fans,
We got to
start
come up with a
wondering,
nickname for them.
we got to come up with a nickname for 60 days in fans.
Yeah.
That would be cool. If
We'll
you
come
if
back.
you have an idea, comment below. This would
Please.
actually be a great user interaction, and maybe if we choose it, you can be a guest host.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
yeah, that could actually be a sweepstakes, whatever you
Ooh.
call it. But
Yes.
anyway, so actually maybe we'll do a separate video for that because that would be kind of cool.
I would like
But
that.
we'll do that. But so this is the time of year. It's always the first Thursday of January that the
Hmm.
new season of 60 Days In comes out. So we should be getting 60 Days In season 7 on the TV. And the problem is there was that whole COVID outbreak, and so none of us actually know if there's going to be a season. Well, first of all, if there's going to be a season 7. So that's what we're actually talking about today is
Hmm.
will 60 Days In go on? So that was
Hmm.
kind of part of this discussion. Is it
Yes.
sounded like kind of a fun discussion to have, so let's have it.
So here's the facts. We know, you and I both know, the main studio, like the main office where everybody works at, is in New York City.
Yep,
New York is back on second lockdown again,
yep,
right?
yep.
So New York's back on lockdown. Nobody's going to the office. This is not a thing that can be done remotely.
No,
Like,
not at all. Not at all. They have to fly,
mm-mm,
and it's hard. It's hard to do social distancing. And I'm not even talking about when you're an inmate.
mm-hmm,
I'm talking about as a production company because where
mm-hmm.
they when you have you know what I'm talking about, the people you got the
Yes.
people that do the camera, and you got the people
Mm-hmm.
right next to them that have the boom mic that are recording the
Yes.
sound, and we're talking about okay, so after you go into the pod on 60 Days In, you have very
Mm-hmm.
limited access to the camera crew, but there's a whole thing that happens before and after the show
Mm-hmm.
where behind the camera when they're doing the interview, like you see us sitting on a stool in a hotel room making this cool, hey, da 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 da. What you don't
Mm-hmm.
see is behind the camera there's like 10 people
Mm-hmm.
at least, and that's just if it's just you just doing your interview.
In
Now,
one little hotel room.
hmm,
Yeah.
it's the most uncomfortable thing that I've ever
Yes.
done because you
Mm-hmm.
literally sit on this one stool and it looks like we're comfortable, but you sit there for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible.
And they'll say, like, turn your head this way, like, roll your shoulders back, sit upright. And it's just this, you're talking about the pre-jail interview and then your exit interview.
Yeah.
They're all day events almost.
And here's actually a fun, not tabloid, fun
Tidbit?
little tidbit for you. Yes,
Yes.
thank you. If you watch any of my interviews, you will see I always had my glasses down here. Now, I don't wear my glasses like an old man, but because my glasses, like you see right there, right now, reflect professional TV, they don't like it. So they always, every time they interviewed me, whether it was pre, post, or during the show, it was I always. So next time you watch me, just watch, see where the position of my glasses. I look like an old man. But so that's our question today, and we want you to respond. We want y'all to comment. What are your thoughts on this? Is 60 days going to go on? So the way I see it is maybe we'll take our time and we'll kind of have our discussion. Like maybe you can take it after this, Ashley. What do you think? And then I'm going to say what I think. But right now, first of all, we do want to pitch though that we know for a fact that 60 Days In is not going to come out in January like it has in the past. We don't know that because we have the direct line to New York, because New York doesn't tell us anything. But
they don't tell us anything at all, ever. Yep. We'll call and ask and be like, "Hey guys, what's up? Y'all doing something?" I don't know.
Yep, that's exactly. But the reason why I can tell you with certain surety that there's no new season coming out, at least right now, is I haven't seen a trailer. Have you?
Nope, no trailers. Nothing.
So what's your thought process? Is 60 Days In coming back on, Ash?
Yes. However, there is just no physical way. So like with New York being a little bit more of a larger population, they can't risk it. I mean, how many people on the production crew do you remember that were over 40? Mm-hmm. The majority of them.
It was a good chunk of
them. And it's not just that, but I mean, it's like you don't want to risk getting sick. And then if they were to decide, okay, well, we'll quarantine for 14 days and then we'll go ahead and start filming, bring participants in, quarantine them for 14 days. Every time they go into the jail for those interviews, like, I mean, it puts the whole jail population at risk. Yep. You know, like to me, I feel like if they tried to film right now, the liability would just be like, I wouldn't want to, as a like professional company, take that risk, that liability risk. Yeah. Is it possible? Could they do it with excessive amounts of quarantine? And like, how many times did the production crew fly back to New York or fly to LA and then have to fly back in for when somebody tapped, or you know what I mean? Like they were always having to fly back and forth. So they would have to leave their families and lock down in location. And it's like 3 or 4 months that they're there, because they do a month prior and a month after, and then we have our 2 months in the middle staggered. So it's like almost 3 months total from time the first person goes in to the time the last person goes out. And I mean, that's a long time to be locked down away from your families for the sake of a TV show that somebody could, I mean, potentially blow. I'm looking at you, Steve. But I mean, it's like, can you imagine? Like it would be too much. So I think it's possible if they really, really want, if it was something they truly wanted, it would be possible. But
I think production can make it possible, but I think facilities, because it's not just production. You now have to get permission from the sheriff's office that you're going to film at, the jail, the detention center, and they have to go through loops, because most detention centers, so for example, season 5, Sheriff Lamb didn't just say, I want y'all in, and it was done. He still had to take it to like the board of commissioners, get their approval and stuff like that. And I just don't think any facility right now is willing to risk it. I mean, even if production was, I don't think any facility right now would be willing to risk it.
Well, they're quarantining inmates as well. Like, I mean, if an inmate's introduced into the population, they have to quarantine, I believe. Like, I know at least I believe my jail is, if they're not quarantined, they're all required to wear a mask while they're in holding, getting sent to their different cells. I mean, it's still a nightmare. It's still a big safety concern.
At our jail right now, when you come in, you go from booking, intake, to a quarantine dorm, and you come out an hour a day. And when you come out, you have to have your mask, obviously. We give you a mask. And they have to sit in quarantine for 2 weeks before they go to general population. And when they do go to general population, they still have to wear their masks. So, I mean, they're on
what about the guards? The guards coming in?
Officers have to wear masks at all times.
Yeah, but they can't quarantine for two
They
weeks
can't
before they
quarantine.
go
So
to
there's,
work.
well, exactly. So there's always that chance. Right now, I would say in my facility, it's safe from the standpoint of inmates bringing it in, but staff, you never know.
Hmm.
You never know. And so I think it's impossible right now to do a season 7. And
Hmm.
we know on the timeline. So if y'all don't know the timeline, for me, for example, my date of booking was the 1st of March. I
Hmm.
got out at the end of April. It came out, the season came out 8 months later because we went to New York in September. We filmed the
Hmm.
reunion, and then the new episode came out, I believe it was like January 4th or something.
Hmm.
So knowing that, and I know your timeline was fairly similar, wasn't it?
Well, yours was only a little bit different because I believe season 6 was supposed to be part 2 in Pinal County, but it got canceled.
No,
I, no,
actually, it
there was
wasn't.
never going to be a season
There was never
6.
going to be a part 2. Pretty much, they got
Okay,
kicked out of Pinal County.
really?
Hmm.
Mm, we'll talk about that off camera later.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
I was the first one in. Okay, so Matt the Marine went in April 24th. I went in April 25th, and then I'm not allowed to say my release date for reasons, but it was early June that I was released. So that's when we filmed. And then you said you guys filmed Reunion in September.
Hmm.
No, October was when our phase 2 participants went in, and phase 1 and phase 2 was in New York end of December. Actually, today's the 23rd. I was in New York 1 year ago today at filming the reunion.
Really? I
And
didn't realize it was
yes.
that close to Christmas. I knew we were
Oh
talking.
yeah.
No, we weren't
Oh
talking yet.
man, it was the
We didn't know
coolest
each other
thing
yet.
ever. Tidbit, like going off on a small tangent. I was the one who did the media interviews. So I was at Rockefeller Plaza and I filmed Access Hollywood, which was
That's
a
cool.
disappointment because I really thought I was going to get to meet what's his name? Slater, AC Slater.
Yeah,
What is his name? I thought I was going to get to meet him, and I
yeah.
was like over the moon. And they were like, "Oh, it's a virtual interview," and I'm like, "This sucks." I was so bummed
As
that I didn't
King
get
of
to
the
meet
Hill
him.
says it best. Damn it, Bobby.
Yes, but then we had like a whiteout, and I got to see like snow around the big Christmas tree in Rockefeller Plaza, and it was like New York's my favorite city, so I was in hog heaven.
Did they
Like it
fly
was
y'all out by Christmas Eve, or did y'all spend Christmas? Yeah, I can't see you spending Christmas there.
I flew there on the 19th and then I left on the 23rd.
Yeah.
Like 5 a.m. flight on the 23rd. But it was like, man, it was the best trip ever. And I got to see a Broadway show. Me, Donovan, and Matt walked around New York City. We went to the 9/11 memorial at 2 a.m. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
we just had like, it was cool.
So that was what was fun about our reunion. Is our reunion, after the reunion was done, we
Hmm.
all met at an Italian restaurant in Manhattan. And that was just a lot of fun because it was all of us. And when I say all of us, it was all the 60 Days MP participants, but it was also the sheriff, all the support personnel.
Hmm.
And so that was kind of fun just to have one hoorah because everybody's under lock and key until the
Hmm.
day of the reunion. And then after that, they're like, okay, y'all can go do whatever you want to. And so
Hmm.
we all hung out, and then the next day we flew out. But
Hmm.
anyway, sorry, well, I'm just reminiscing. But
Yeah.
I say all that to say we're pretty much on the same timeline, give or take, because y'all still
Hmm.
premiered in January.
First Thursday in January.
Uh-huh. And we haven't seen anything. But going on
No.
that timeline that I had, the same timeline you had, the coronavirus had already started. I guess the pandemic really got noticed in about March. The first part of March is when they started shutting
Hmm.
down everything. So
Yeah.
even if they were filming anything at the time, I would say it got halted.
From what I understand, they told me that they can't film while the show's airing because in between, when did season 4
No, that
premiere?
doesn't make sense because we were in while season 4 was airing.
Okay. And somebody lied to me.
Yeah, they lied to
Hang
you.
on.
But, well, oh, yeah, so you were wrong because season 4 was actually being shown. I want to say by the time episode 3 of season 4 was going, maybe episode 4 or 5, we were in the facility. So
Did you
just
guys
FYI.
did you guys watch A&E while you were in jail?
No, they watched History Channel a lot.
Oh man, we
We didn't
watched
watch any
A&E.
A&E.
That's all we did. Like when I was a trustee, all we did was watch A&E.
Did
Like
60 Days In ever come on while you were?
no. It never aired while I was in there cuz you guys your season was shorter. Yours was only 12 episodes, right?
10 plus the reunion.
Okay, so 10 plus the reunion, that puts you at the end of March, beginning of April.
Hmm.
And then I went in the end of April.
Hmm.
So it was, yeah, 60 Days In wasn't on. I remember they were doing like some sort of like mass airing of like all of these crazy murder specials of like crazy Hollywood murder stories. And me and one of my best friends who worked for the cartel, we just hung out on the couch and played with each other's hair and watched murder mysteries. She trafficked heroin, but she had a heart of gold.
A heart of gold heroin trafficker. That is awesome.
Yes, I'm not wrong. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
So here is my thing with the whole what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think season 7 is coming, and I'll tell you why. And I've said this
Okay.
time and time before. There are 2 shows that A&E does that are their money makers, and that's why I
Mhm.
believe Live PD will come back, because Live PD is the absolute top money maker for A&E. 60 Days In is second.
Dan Abrams didn't break up with A&E
No.
because Live PD was his baby, and he still has Court Cam, and they're not still doing Most Wanted, but I know that I saw some previews for Court Cam coming back with Dan Abrams
Yep.
hosting. So if
Yep.
he's not ending his contract or breaking up with A&E,
It's coming.
you may be onto something because he was so pissed. I mean,
Oh, he was.
his Twitter rant. I mean, he was obviously very professional about it, but he was clearly unhappy.
Yep. But
Sean Larkins was a little bit more for verbal.
Yeah. And gosh, what was that guy's wife? One of the police officers that was prominently featured with one of the Richland County. She's very verbal. Oh, it's amazing seeing her stuff. Always drama, talking about how she hates all. Anyway, whatever.
Mhm.
But my whole thing is, yes, the pandemic has put a halt on 60 Days In, but
Mhm.
just like Live PD, 60 Days In makes too much money for A&E. Makes too
Mhm.
much money for the producers. And I don't hate
Mhm.
them for it. I mean, if you're onto
No.
a winning, if you got to pay, if you got to pay your bills, you're going to stick with what makes you money.
Mhm.
So I think it's coming back, y'all, is what my stance would be. It's just we've got to get a hold on this pandemic
Mhm.
before they bring it back, because no one's going to allow it right now. So I would say by this time next year, if not earlier, if they can get a hold of it earlier, you can guarantee it'll come back sometime
Mhm.
soon. And when we speak our minds on this, by the way, I just want to preface it that we are not speaking with any authority whatsoever.
No.
We are just like y'all. We are fans that are just
Mhm.
speculating right now, because we don't have a big red telephone that we can call A&E and be like, what's going on? They don't tell us anything.
Yeah, they never did when we were filming it either. Like
Yeah, right.
I could call them today and play catch up and visit with them because I do love our producers. I had a very good relationship with them. I think they're wonderful people who truly care about the project. But if I asked them outright and said, "Hey, when is season 7 filming?" They would tell me to kick rocks. Like they're not gonna tell me at all, and they'll be
But
like,
it's
"Sorry
coming.
about it."
It's coming, guaranteed. But in the meantime, that's what our channel is. We're a void. We really are able to fill that void because we know you guys are 60 Days In fans, and we talk 60 days in. And even though there's other
Mm-hmm.
channels out there and some of them are great channels, like Dropping Hits is awesome.
Love
I
them.
love Sean. Sean, you're a
Yes.
positive dude, so don't take this that we're talking smack. But we
Mm-hmm.
are the only 60 days in channel that is done by actual 60 days in participants. And
Mm-hmm.
we bring on 60 days in people. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we are going to
Yes.
fill that void in. Also, when season
Mm-hmm.
7 comes out, I think we're going to do a live after party.
Oh, I can't wait. It's
That
going to
would
be
be
amazing.
fun. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to figure out how to do that. But we're gonna do like a live after party where we talk 60 days in. But
Yes.
anyway, I said all that to say I think it's coming back. And in the
Mm-hmm.
meantime, watch our channel because we're still gonna bring you 60 days in material.
Yes. And what do
I,
you guys want? Like, other than participant interviews, what content do you guys want? Because,
yeah,
like, we can research follow ups with the facilities. We've got contacts in Clark County, Fulton County, Knowle County, and Etowah County. If you have any questions about any of those agencies, how 60 Days In affected their jails, their communities, like, we've got the connections and they're legit. So, like, Donovan works for Clark County, Indiana. Like,
hmm
he'd be one to be good to pull on here. But I
yeah,
mean, like, if you guys have those questions, leave a comment, send us a message on Facebook or Instagram, and we would love to really dive in deep to what you all really want to know.
yeah, yeah. So we say all that to say this. What do you want on this channel? We
What
are.
do you want from us?
What do you want from us? We are 60 days in. I know we've experimented with some other stuff, but at the end of the day, our analytics tell us you guys want to hear 60 days in. One thing, I know you guys always talk about, you want this person or you want that person. We hear what you're saying, but if we can't provide, because one interview I want to do is with Akaika from season 5, who was the inmate that got slapped by Abner. We've reached out to him, he's not responding. So if
Mm-hmm.
they reach back out to us, we're going to bring these people to you. But there are some people that have just fallen off the face of the planet. Abner, for example, I know a lot of you guys have talked about we want Abner. Abner's fallen off. We can't find him anymore. And yes, this is a participant talking about another participant. If I can't find them, I know y'all can't.
Mm-hmm.
So if
And
we don't bring,
that's their choice too.
yeah,
Like,
it's their choice.
yeah.
So if we could bring it to you, we will. Understand though that in some cases we can't find people.
Mm-hmm. Also, one thing that we've decided we are not going to talk about, we are not going to dive into Nate's suicide. We're not going to discuss what we know, what we don't know. We're going to let our friend rest. It's not our job to. We're not going to take something so personal and dissect it for the sake of views.
Nope.
So anybody who has asked about that, we're not going to try to interview Jordan. We're not going to try to interview any of the other participants about him. We're going to let our friend rest. And so anybody who has asked about that, we do apologize, but it's not our place as law enforcement professionals, for one, to talk about an ongoing investigation, and number two, to talk about a situation that neither me or Mark was present for. That's between Nate Jordan and God.
And that's another thing that, and I'm
Yeah,
going to speak on a personal level that
yeah,
irritates me is Nate was a friend of all the participants on 60 Days In, because if you
hmm
didn't know him, you could reach out to him because we are a small family after, and
yeah,
so seeing that a lot of people did stuff for views, and don't even know Nate, they don't know Jordan, they don't know the
hmm
story. And I mean, it irritated me, but I mean, I get it because we try to get views too. We just don't try
hmm
to get views on the back of of friends.
And we're not
As
talking
far
about
as
other participants who knew him. We're talking about people outside of
yeah,
our community.
yeah.
So, yeah.
But look, we love y'all. We love y'all so much. We just wanted to do this episode because we want to talk about the future of 60 Days In. I think it's coming back. At the end of the day, it's coming back. What do you think, Ashley?
I'll make a bet with you. I'm going to say January 2023.
Oh, so you don't even think it'll be back in January 2022?
I don't think they're going to be able to film until 2022. I think it'll premiere in 23. I don't think they're going to film the entirety of 21.
Which
That's
actually
my guess.
might be a good thing because it'll give the time to reset because too many people are
Yes.
saying 60 days in.
They have to change how they do it. And that's going to have to be another episode is what can they do to embezzle participants into the facilities a lot better?
Yep.
What can they do to fix it? Because right now, I personally don't feel like the formula is working anymore.
Yep. So what's going to happen? Comment below. We love y'all. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We see every comment. Sometimes, me and Ashley live busy lives because law enforcement is not a 9 to 5 job like some people. Like we work we work crazy hours. I work 3 to 11. So by the time my day gets going, all y'all are getting off. And by the time my day ends, all y'all have been in bed for a few hours. And then that's not even mentioning if we have to go to court because that's off duty and all that stuff. So we work crazy hours. So I try to personally heart a lot of y'all's comments. And if I don't, it's not because I don't like you. We appreciate every view. We appreciate every comment. We appreciate every subscription. But understand, we're not full-time YouTubers. Now, if y'all want to put, I don't know, say $10 million in our Patreon account, then we'll split it and we will go strictly YouTube. I love law enforcement. It's my career. It's my life. I love working in law enforcement. I really do. But if you want to put $10 million into our Patreon account, I have no problem saying, all right, this is my 2-week notice. I am now a full-time YouTuber. So if you want to put in $10 million, our Patreon account is patreon.com/AFBP. Now that was a shameless plug, and of course that was being sarcastic. But we love you guys. We got to get off because we have another interview in 10 minutes. Even though these are going to be posted 2 weeks, so we're going to do one of these. Probably this video will be premiere sometime around New Year's Eve, and then our other video that we're doing. And it's because, believe it or not, we have lives, and so the little bit of off duty time we do have, I want to chill. So next week, I don't want to film anything. So we're going to go ahead and film everything today, and then we're just going to distribute it equally. But I say that when I say we respect you and we love you guys, we really do, because we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you. Today, I looked, we're at almost, we're over 1,800. Yeah, we're close to 2,000.
So excited.
If you guys will go ahead and hit that subscribe button, we'd love to hit 2,000. We'd love to hit 10,000. I was talking to a friend today, another officer, and he's like, I think you guys have a good niche. You're going to get about 25 subscribers, and I'm fine with that. But subscribe, comment below. We love you guys. We'll talk to y'all later.
Boom.
Boom.